Somebody put a picture of purgatory in your head a long time ago, and I would like to take it back out. Flames, a cave with no ceiling, souls with their arms raised, mouths open, waiting for somebody down here to remember them before the fire finishes with them. I know that picture. There was a painting like it in the hallway of my parish school, and a 7-year-old girl in New Orleans had to walk past it twice a day to get to the water fountain. I used to go the long way around. I told the sisters it was because of the stairs. Here is what the church actually teaches, and I want you to hear it standing up. Not one soul in purgatory is in danger. Not one. Every single one of them is going to heaven, and heaven is already theirs, and nothing at all can take it from them. The Catechism says it in plain daylight, paragraph 1030. Those souls, it says, are assured of their eternal salvation. Assured. 60 years I have watched good Catholic women say the word purgatory the way you'd say the name of a hospital, something to be feared, something happening to a person you love while you stand in the parking lot. That is the wrong picture, and today I am going to hand you the right one. My name is Sister Ruth Bellamy, and for 30 years I sat with the dying in Louisiana and Georgia as a hospice chaplain, which meant I was the one who arrived when the doctors were done talking. In the spring of 2004, they sent me to a house in Waycross, Georgia, to a woman named Eula Prine, 86 years old, heart giving out on her, an inch at a time. Sharp as a tack right to the end, she caught me mispronouncing her name on the first visit and made me say it 3 times until I got it. Her bedroom had a green enamel percolator on the dresser that she would not let anybody move, and a ceiling fan with the pull chain lengthened by a brown shoelace. On that first afternoon, before she asked me one thing about myself, Eula asked me to bring her a pencil. She said, "And when you come back Thursday, I need you to get something down off my closet door. I can't reach it anymore." I didn't know yet what was taped to the inside of that door. When I found out, it changed how I pray for my own dead, and I have carried it for 22 years. Before we say goodbye today, I am going to give you Eula's practice, word for word, so you can do it tonight in your own kitchen with one index card. Stay with me, sweetheart. The card comes back. Let's get the furniture straight first. The church teaches 3 places a soul can be after death, and only 3. Heaven, where God is seen face to face. Hell, which is the door pulled shut from the inside by a soul that wanted no part of him. And purgatory. Purgatory belongs to heaven. That is the part almost nobody tells you. It is not a third destination. It is the last hallway of the first one. Catechism paragraph 1031 puts it about as clearly as the church ever puts anything. It calls purgatory the final purification of the elect child, meaning the chosen, meaning the saved. And it says this purification is entirely different from the punishment of the damned, entirely different in kind, not in degree. So when you lie awake wondering whether your husband is suffering somewhere, understand what the church is telling you. If he is in purgatory, then the verdict on him is already in, and the verdict is heaven. He is not on trial. He has been acquitted. What is happening to him now is what happens to a man in the mudroom of a house he already owns. Now, why does anybody need purifying at all if they died loving God? St. Paul gives us the picture. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 13 through 15. He says every man's work will be tested by fire. Some of what we build burns off. And then he says the line I want you to write down. He himself will be saved, but only as through fire. Saved. Paul says saved. The fire in that verse is not deciding anything. The fire is cleaning something that already belongs to God. Let me put it in a kitchen, because that's where I do my best theology. My grandmother raised me, and she had a neighbor, a man who quit drinking in his 50s and never touched another drop. 20 years sober. But I watched that man walk into his own kitchen and reach for the cabinet above the icebox before he caught himself. Every time. Hand went up on its own. He was forgiven. He was free. And his hand still went to that cabinet. That's what purgatory works on. The Catechism calls it an unhealthy attachment to creatures, paragraph 1472. The habits and the small stubbornnesses and the corners of a man that his forgiveness reached, but his soul hadn't caught up to yet. He loved God. He also loved being right, and he loved his own way, and he loved a grudge he kept in a drawer for 40 years and never opened in front of anybody. None of that fits through the door of heaven, so God takes it off him, gently, completely. Now hold on to this, because it is the whole video, and I'm going to say it twice today. Nobody in purgatory is in danger. They are the saved, still being made ready, and your prayers are the only hands still working on their side. That last part is the piece I have to explain to you, and I'm going to. But first you need to meet the 41 names on Eula Prine's closet door. Thursday came, and I got the step stool from her pantry, taped to the inside of that closet door, right at eye level, for a woman who had been 5'2" before her back curved, was an index card, plain white, soft at the corners the way paper goes when it's been touched for decades. 41 first names, all of them in pencil. The ones at the top had gone almost silver. You had to tilt the card toward the window to read them at all. The bottom 4 were dark and fresh, and one of those was written in a hand that shook. I sat down on the edge of her bed and read them out loud to her. All 41. It took a while. Ward, at the top, her husband, 31 years gone by then. Then a name she'd added the same week as Ward's, a son born still in 1949, who she and Ward had named Thomas anyway, because she said a baby ought to have a name, whether he ever hears it or not. Then neighbors. A girl from her school who drowned in 1934. 2 men from the sawmill her father ran, one of whom she'd never spoken a word to in her life. A woman from her parish who had been unkind to her for 20 years and died alone in a nursing home outside Valdosta. Every night since 1949, Eula Prine had stood at that closet door and prayed for 41 people by name. I told her it was the most faithful thing I had ever seen in a private house. She waved me off, and then she got quiet in the way people get quiet when the real thing is coming. She said, "Sister, who keeps a list with my name on it?" I did not have an answer ready. I want to tell you what I said to her, and I will, but you need to hear the rest of the teaching first, because what I told Eula only makes sense if you understand what a soul can and cannot do once it leaves here. Here is the one thing your prayers do. One thing. I promised you one, and there is one. A soul in purgatory cannot help itself. That's it, baby. That's the whole doctrine. And once you have it, you will never pray the same way again. While your husband was alive, every rosary he said, every mass he sat through, every dollar he slipped in the poor box, every time he bit his tongue instead of saying the thing, all of that counted for him. He could grow. He could make up ground. The moment he died, that stopped. The church has always taught it. The time of merit ends with this life. A soul in purgatory can love God, and does, more purely than you or I have ever managed. But it cannot earn one more thing for itself. It cannot shorten its own waiting by so much as a minute. The only hands still moving on his behalf are on this side of the grave. They are your hands. That is why Catechism paragraph 1032 says, the Church, from the very earliest days, has prayed and offered the Mass for her dead. And it says, our prayers may also help them. Help. God did not have to arrange it this way. He arranged it this way because he is not finished using you. Now let me tell you what those souls are actually like, because St. Catherine of Genoa spent years being shown it, and she wrote it down in her treatise on purgatory in the 1400s. She said the souls in purgatory are the happiest souls in creation after the saints in heaven. Happiest, my dear. That word is hers. They are certain of God. They cannot sin anymore, cannot doubt, cannot turn away. Catherine said they would not leave that place 1 second early, even if the door were open, because they can see themselves clearly now, and they want to be clean before they are held. Their suffering is the ache of a woman who can see the porch light of the house she's walking toward and cannot get there fast enough. That is a hard ache. It is a good ache. It is the ache of being loved and knowing it. Now I want to say something to you that I would only say to another woman sitting on the same pew. Some of you stopped praying for him, not out of coldness. It happened slow. The first year you prayed for him every night. The second year, most nights. And then somewhere in there a thought arrived, and it sounded like faith. He was a good man. He's surely with God by now. I don't want to insult him by acting like he needed it, so you let it go. And now it's been years, and there's a splinter in you that you have never said out loud to your daughter, to your prayer group, to anybody. What if he needed me and I quit? Look at me. If he is already in heaven, not one word you say for him falls on the floor. God does not waste a prayer. He takes it and he gives it to a soul who has nobody. The man from the sawmill, the woman who died alone outside Valdosta, the ones whose names are on nobody's card. The prayer arrives. It just changes hands. And if he is still being made ready, then you have not been late a single day in your life, because you are starting tonight. You have not failed him. You have been carrying him this whole time. Put the splinter down. What I said to Eula Prine that Thursday afternoon was this. I told her that the 41 people on her card had been praying for her from the other side for 55 years, and that she would find out exactly what that had bought her the minute she opened her eyes. She thought about it. Then she asked me for the pencil. She wanted her own name on her own card at the bottom. Her hand could not do it by itself anymore, so I put my hand around hers and we wrote it together. Eula. It took most of a minute. Then she asked me to give the card to her granddaughter, Ruthie, which had made both of us laugh the first day. 2 Ruths in one room. And she said, "Tell her it doesn't matter if she believes in it yet. Tell her to just say the names." Eula died 11 days later, early, with the fan on and that shoelace turning slow. I called the priest and I stayed. At the funeral, out on the steps of the church in the Georgia heat, Ruthie came and found me, 26 years old. She held out a brand new index card, still stiff at the corners. She had copied all 41 names over by hand. And at the bottom, under the pencil, she had written her grandmother's name, in ink. She said, "The others were in pencil because Mama thought she might be wrong about some of them. She wasn't wrong about this one." I have kept my own card since that spring. It lives inside my medicine cabinet, and it has more names on it now than Eula's did, because 30 years of hospice work will do that to a person. Ward is on it. Thomas is on it. The woman outside Valdosta is on it. And near the top in ink is Eula. Nobody in Purgatory is in danger. They are the saved, still being made ready, and your prayers are the only hands still working on their side. I have never once prayed into an empty room. So here is your task for tonight, and it costs you 1 index card. Write his name at the top. His first name is enough. God has never once needed a last name. Underneath, write the rest of your dead. Your mother, your father, the friend from your old parish, the baby, if there was a baby, and give that child a name if you never did. Add the ones nobody else is praying for. The woman down the street who had no family. The man from your husband's work whose funeral you went to out of duty. Then tape that card inside a cabinet door in your kitchen, someplace you open every single day without thinking. And tonight, before you turn off the light, put your hand flat on it and say these words. Say them slow. I'll go slow so you can write them down. Lord, these are mine. You know every name on this card and every one I forgot. Finish in them whatever you started. Take from them whatever cannot come inside. And when they are ready, bring them in. Until then, hold them close and count these words as my hands. Amen. That's it. 30 seconds. Every night. Do it tonight and then do it tomorrow. In a month you will find you cannot open that cabinet without saying their names. And that is exactly what happened to Eula Prine in 1949. Now tell me his name in the comments. Just his first name. I keep a notebook by my chair, and tonight I will write it down and pray for him myself. And if you would, tell me one more name. Somebody nobody else is praying for. Those are the ones I look for.